Hello everybody, and welcome back to Gnoll Way Home. We were just going out on deliveries. I think we were made into a good boy. Something like that happened. But yeah, we were doing the mail, and now Tavi Boy looks upsetty at us. He always looks upset, though. This is just a grumpy little guy. He's kind of funny. Tav stomps through the dirt furiously, following the direction the leash dangles from his wrist, like some kind of dowsing rod.
What the hell are you doing out here? Mailman? I thought I told you to stay close so I can keep an eye on you. Can I get up now?
He grunts and unwinds the leash a bit more. I breathe a sigh of relief as the rest of my body wakes back up, slowly finding my way back to my feet.
Look, I think I found a solution. You're in no position to. Just listen. For once, just listen to me. I know you're hurt. I'm hurting too. This sucks for everyone. But please, just hear me out for once before you shut me down. Alright, so Scar here knows a holy man that might be able to exorcise me. You mean, a bigot? I suppose it might work. Scar. Look, he set up shop deep in Empire lands. It'll be a miracle to get there without papers. Don't you make that face, kid. It's not like you could take us anyway. After all, you're retired, right? Scar, you said that that you got these two out of the Empire, right? So they're important to you. This might be the only chance we have to save Gash. So please, if there's any way we can make this happen. You're serious about this? As serious as can be. Demon's honor. Fine. Let's run it by the matron.
And just like that, he marches off with heavy footfalls, dragging that thick tail of his through the dust.
I'm not going to be your problem much longer. Come on, let's get this over with.
Okay. Back in the village proper, my ears perk at hearing a familiar voice rising above the din of the crowd, and we soon stumble upon Oppa performing a story recitation beneath the merciful shade of an awning. Before I know it, I'm getting swept up in the tail end of a tale about the dangers of snapdragons. Tav keeps walking, and I can feel the collars tug, but the way Oppa speaks commands such gravitas that I feel a need to stop and listen anyway. Oh, okay. And it seems I'm not the only one. He's got the younger children enraptured as well. Also Stinky. He's got no less than 3 of the little buggers crawling over him for the best seats in the house to hear Oppa's storytelling. Most of the older gnolls don't look nearly as enthused, but are happy to bask in the shade's caress at the very least. As his story wraps up, he motions to retire from the recitation, but the children pleading soon convinces him to stay for just one more. With my recent arrival in town apparently still on their minds, their cheer soon turned to demands for a story about demons. Demons? Big, scary, creepy, crawly, sinful, salacious? Demons. The cheering reaches a crescendo. The old man knows how to play a crowd. Then how about the tale of the good demon? Oh, here, let me turn up the game volume a bit. Tav stops dead in his tracks as he hears that, returning to my side to listen. I haven't heard this one. as Opa sets the scene with a vivid depiction of a mad mage's sanctum in the heart of the Empire, gesticulating wildly to sell the spectacle of the story. I can get there, guys. And Tav snags the journal back from me and inks up his claws to begin recording every word. But the mad mage Talus, we got there. A vile voker that he was, didn't know what he'd bargained for when he called a demon to occupy his body. He thought he was a sequester? He could sequester it away in his oh-so-brilliant mind to command its power without losing himself to the demon's influence. But once the summoning was completed, he grew not muscles to enhance his diminutive frame, nor the wicked claws, horns, or fangs he envied to his peers. Envied? Hope that's somewhere in the ballpark, hopefully. Instead, he grew the most dreadful thing of all, dear boys and girls. He pauses for dramatic effect. A conscience! Audible gasps echo through the audience. The Stinky's is particularly loud. The power-hungry mage had summoned himself not a sinful conspirator or fiendish brute, but an honest-to-goodness, good demon. The poor demon was trapped indeed, languishing in old Fisty's head for months after this failed summoning. It admonished him for every vile experiment he conducted, rebuked him for the cruel treatment of his families, and even for his familiars, and even scolded him when he failed to bathe. At least he could suffer no more of this nagging reproach. He wouldn't let some lowly demon tell him what to do. So, he forged a baleful gem to seal the demon within, cackling with glee as he begged for mercy. But the mad mage knew no mercy, and so brought his staff thundering down upon the ritual circle to cast the demon out once and for all. But demons aren't dealt with so easily, my friends. When the mad mage awoke, he found no breath with which to scream, no maw to curse the fate that had befallen him. He had trapped himself within the gem. The demon's scheme proved fruitful at last. It had studied his secrets and learned quickly, sabotaging his ritual at the last moment, to curse him with his very prison he sought to sequester it in. Free at last, the demon took his body for itself. And do you know what he did with that body? He pauses once more to spur audience interaction before continuing. The demon became a champion of justice, righting wrongs and vanquishing villains across the Empire. So if even a demon can be good, what skills do you little whelps have? The old Gnoll's teasing remark draws a wave of giggles from the little ones. As Opa wraps up, the crowd starts to disperse. I return my gaze to Tav to see him looking at the journal fondly. The story proved a nice change of pace after that heated discussion outside the city. That did not say city, did it? Village. We are in a village. This is not a bustling metropolis. That is for certain. Even Tav can't help but smile a little as he puts the finishing touches on the entry. But part of me wonders why Opa decided to tell that particular story.
You don't think he made that up? Just because of me, do you?
I don't think so. That sounded pretty practiced, like he's told it plenty of times before. I peek closer to what he's written. It looks like he managed to capture every word, even with the brisk pace Opa spoke at.
That's really impressive, actually. Do you always record his stories?
He passes the book back to me, avoiding my gaze. What can I say?
Storytelling is historically an oral tradition for the Gnolls. But if no one writes it down, it might be forgotten someday. And that's just so sad. To think that after you're gone, nobody will remember who you were or what you did. Your legacy just vanishes. He continues that feeling again. Sorry, I just can't stand to see him spiral like this. I know I'm not responsible for cheering him up, but I dig deep anyway, searching my memory for a less gloomy paradigm to parrot. I like to imagine that even after you're gone, the people whose lives you've touched will carry on your legacy. And when they're all dead too. Think. Well, I suppose it's like a pebble in a pond, isn't it? The kindness you drop in the water influences the people around you to be more kind in turn, and that keeps rippling outwards. Eventually, you can't even see the ripples anymore, but the pond itself stands higher overall. You never know. That kind of legacy might end up being even more impactful than whatever's written records managed to survive the ages. I know I'd rather make the world a bit kinder, instead of being remembered forever as the guy who sold shitty copper or something. Well, I'm still going to write down as much as I can, but that's a really nice thought, actually. It reminds me of some philosophy books Gash used to read to me. Oh, was he a big reader too? He's the one that taught me. Fought a tusk and claw to sneak discarded books back for me when he worked at a trash picker. Really? I guess he was smarter than I realized. Yeah, I just wish he realized that himself. You guys made it. I was worried you'd miss story time. Kinda got caught up in it by a surprise, actually. We were about to go to Matron's hut with Scar. Scar? He's here. Oh, yeah. I guess he must have gone ahead of us to see Matron. Oh, there they go. Stinky bolts in that direction without another word. Well, this is going to be a mess. We arrive to find the partition drawn shut, with Nika standing guard to keep Stinky out from behind it. Calm yourself, boy. A day won't be long. But it's been so long. Will he even recognize me? I'm sure he can already smell you. The shroud doesn't block that. This boy be testing me, a one and only nerve. Stinky, let's help out with some poultice prep. Poultice? Poultice. Maybe. But I'm sure Nika could use the help with your medicine anyway. After some time spent crushing up dried nettles and making paste from death root, the curtain finally opens. God, there are so many people on screen. Oh, some tension hangs in the air as the two older Gnolls join us from behind the curtain. You've been busy, pup. Oh yeah, deliveries taken care of. Mailman? I'm sorry, who was saying that? Yes. Only been here a day, and already you've hatched a scheme to get yourself exercised. Oh yeah, that too. Now my first instinct, and I don't know, forgive my mistrustful nature, is that a sudden plan to take a handful of good boys back into the wormwood with you smells like a god's damn trap. The Wombwood? Oh, yeah, I guess there's only one way back to the Empire. But I reckon I should practice a bit more of what I preach, and give you a chance to prove yourself. You mean? If Tov's willing to accompany you, of course. Leash and all. But I ain't gonna force ya. None of ya. This needs to be something all three of y'all want to partake in. Of course, if Scar is willing to show us the way, I know I'm asking a lot. It's not like I'm of any use farting away my golden years in this place. Scar. Besides, the two of you wouldn't make it far into Imperial territory without getting your hides tanned. And the big oaf's been begging me to come visit anyway.
And you're sure you want to go back there?
Fuck no! But I made that kid a promise, and I intend to keep it. So we're really doing this then?
We'll have to be extremely careful. Normally, if we bump into brood witches, we can just drop everything and run.
But if they catch wind that I'm there, they'll hunt us down with everything they've got.
At least the forest still lets you in. The land itself rebels against my presence.
Yeah, they're still mad about the blasphemies.
They can die mad. I can hardly believe how fast things are moving. I was starting to think I'd have to spend months, maybe even years here before an opportunity like this came along. I can feel that familiar pang of remorse squelching in my gut, but I'm getting better at ignoring it. Yeah, I don't want to leave. I'm getting sick of hearing myself think that. I've got to step up and take responsibility to fix this. And I might never get another chance like this. I'm drawn from my thoughts when Scar clasps a paw on my shoulder. Oh?
Look, I'm on board with this for Tav and Gash, but I gotta know I can trust you too.
Yeah, I know it must be hard to trust a demon.
Look, in my experience, demons ain't all the Empire makes them out to be. Most of the ones I've met are just scared shitless. They don't know the first thing about this world, except that all the Imperials want them burnt at the stake. Sure, if they got rich families, the Empire will hook them up with treatments to cure them. But whatever that entails can't be good. Leaves them a quiet, docile shell afterwards, if not a drooling invalid outright. And I ain't gonna let none of you kids end up like that.
I'm not gonna let that happen either. Gash deserves his life back, and I'm going to make sure that happens. No matter what.
Well, alright. You got hellfire in your eyes, Mr. Josh. But it sounds like I can't count on you in a scrap with that collar on.
Yeah.
If we're quick and quiet. I just reversed the. Shut up.
We won't need to do any fighting.
Wouldn't be too hard to lay low with just the three of us.
Hey.
Hey, kid.
I heard you were in town.
And,
well, I was hoping we could catch up.
Scar, come on.
No, it's okay.
Kid, you've grown now. You got your own life. Don't need me around to mess it up.
Well,
then in that case, I'm coming too.
You're what now?
Look, me and Opa been living in the Wormwood for years now. I know my way around it, even better than you do. And if push comes to shove, you'll want to have a Volker on your side, right? No way in hell.
He does have a point. Earth Mother's blessing could really come in handy down there, and on the other side too. Plus, it's not like 4 is much harder to hide than 3.
Look, I ain't gonna put an untrained kid in harm's way like that.
I'm not a kid anymore.
It's not any different from us going. Well, who's gonna look after Opa? Nika offered. She said she'll put him to work on poultice. Says it'll be good to keep his mind active at that age. Fine. You ain't my problem anymore. You're free to do whatever you want. I'll go tell Opa. So that was, family stuff. Makes me glad I'm an orphan. Oh, really? No. Hey, Gash is your family, and we'll get him back real soon. Yeah. Yeah. Wanna go get soup? Yeah. I didn't get to spend much time in Shattertusk after all, but I'm glad there was soup. Ah. There we go. It's the end of chapter 2. We're gonna go and have adventures, probably. Do I have to click? Do I have to click things? Oh, no, it's going. Oh, okay. Oh, the title changed. Look, there's differences. This was a fun chapter. We got to see more things and do things. You know, those... It makes me curious what those decisions do. Those 2 decisions. I liked the shatter effect. That was real neat. This is just a cool game. I like it a lot. It's a little difficult for me to read, but that's a me problem. I'll have to sort that out myself one day, learning how to read. Where that's not gonna happen though. It's better this way. It's part of my gimmick that I don't know how to read. It's fine. It's fine. But anyway, I'll be wrapping it up here. So I guess I'll see you guys when the next build comes around. But I hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys around.